Now let's talk about steroid-induced hyperglycemia. Mr. Brimley has now developed a cough. You decide to start 60 milligrams of oral prednisone to treat what you presume is a COPD exacerbation. Unfortunately, his blood sugar is 300 after this first dose of prednisone. Now what do you want to do? You might be thinking, we need to give him some insulin. And that's definitely the right way to think about it. As we talked about before, there are several different kinds of insulin that we might be able to give. So take a moment and think about what kind of insulin you may want to give him. As it turns out, NPH insulin is an excellent choice in this instance. As you can see, prednisolone-induced hyperglycemia has a relative peak that you can see with this blue line. And it just so happens that NPH in the orange line also follows a similar curve. So if we're able to dose the NPH and the prednisone at the same time, hopefully we can prevent this kind of peaking and this hyperglycemia. The way to calculate the NPH dose to use with steroids is a little bit more complicated than just creating the simple insulin regimen. Again, it may be helpful to take out a piece of paper at this time so that you can write down this formula and practice for yourself. The first thing we're going to do is take his prednisone equivalent dose, subtract 20, and divide that value by 20. We're going to take that answer, multiply by 0.1, and then multiply by the patient's weight. In his case, he's already on prednisone. However, if he were on a different steroid, you could use a steroid table to calculate his current dose to a prednisone dosing. In his case, we know that he's on 60 milligrams of prednisone, so we'll subtract 20, divide that answer by 20, multiply by 0.1, then multiply by 100 kilograms. I'll give you a moment to do that math yourself. You should be ending up with 20 units of NPH that's going to be given with the patient's prednisone dosing. So now we can look at what his insulin regimen was before and what it will change to. So as you can see, he's still on his glargine, his Lispro, and that mid-dose sliding scale. What we're going to do now is add this NPH insulin, 20 units, with his steroid dosing.